And still on the green theme, New York is aiming to bring down carbon emissions by promoting plant-based foods across its public institutions. A new greenhouse gas inventory has revealed that what people eat makes up a third of the city's source of emissions. And that has prompted officials to push for plant-based diets, which they say are good for both consumers and the environment. Will Denslow tells us more.
Menus across New York City's public school system are getting a shake-up. Around 100 recipes are set to be rolled out throughout the next school year. Chefs will receive training on making meals that put plant-based ingredients centre stage.
The feedback we're getting is mostly thumbs up on all the recipes, excited about the new flavors and really interested in how the recipes lay out, not that difficult to put together.
New York is built on meatless Mondays and rolled out a plant-powered Friday initiative across the city's public schools last year. It's part of a wider push to trim the fat of carbon emissions.
Red meat in particular and dairy, that in the way that that food is produced, right, at the farm level, it's very carbon intensive. And, so if we're trying to reduce the amount of emissions in our city, we can't ignore the contributions of food.
New research makes for unappetizing reading. Food production and consumption is New York's third biggest generator of carbon emissions, behind buildings and transportation. Mayor Eric Adams, who follows a plant-based diet, aims to slash food-based emissions by a third across the city's agencies by 2030. That includes the city's hospitals, which aim to serve more than 750,000 plant-based meals this year. The city's also received a $44 million investment from the American College of Lifestyle Medicine to provide training in plant-based nutrition for up to 200,000 healthcare professionals.
We already know that a plant-powered diet is better for your physical and mental health, and I am living proof of that. But the reality is that thanks to this new inventory, we're finding out it is better for the planet.
Faced with rising food prices due to inflation, officials say plant-forward meals are often a cheaper alternative to meat.
Meats are frankly a bit more expensive than beans. And so this has actually been, we've seen cost savings, particularly in our public hospital system.
Education is seen as a vital way to help grow support for the city's climate goals. Food sources make up an estimated 20% of the city's carbon emissions. Initiatives like this aim to energise young New Yorkers to take a bite out of that figure. The non-profit Chefs for Impact uses a hands-on approach to teach kids about food sustainability and how the meals we eat impact the world around us.
I think it's hard for this new generation, for kids, there's an air of hopelessness in terms of climate change, but what we try to do is show them little ways that they can create change and they can do things by eating better, by sourcing their food better, by eating vegetarian or eating in ways that create less emissions.
According to some estimates, food makes up nearly 20% of all of New York State's waste, with nearly 4 million tonnes ending up in landfills each year. Officials hope that cutbacks on certain types of food could start to eat away at the city's carbon footprint. William Denslow, CNA, New York.